If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and also check out all the social media and affiliate links in the description. Hey guys, it's Oluvids, and today I have something kind of weird to bring you guys. So, recently RDCworld1 made a video about, game companies and, these small indie games blowing up and all that stuff. And so, yeah, it's like, basically, it's kind of similar to how something like Among Us blew up, while something like Cyberpunk 2077 got a lot less positive reception and all that stuff. So, I saw that, I thought it was pretty funny, but then I realized, you know what, I could make, it's probably not a real game, but you know what, why don't I make Stickman, the actual thing? I can definitely make it because it's not too hard to make. So then, that's exactly what I did. I went and made Stickman in Unity. Alright, so here's the game, Stickman, inspired by RDCworld1, aka Mr.Stickman. Recreated in Unity by Oluvids, which is me. Yeah, those are those guys over there. So just like in the video, they both gotta get over to the middle, and then the guy who gets in the middle wins. But in the video, it looked pretty smooth, like both of them moving. But how I did it for this is that I made it so that for each time you press the spacebar, he inches up a little bit, so I can be kind of challenging instead of just holding down a button to win. Anyway. Yeah, so you gotta press it a lot to get to the place first. And there's also a way to lose. You can also lose. I made a lose thingy too. I'll just move them up a bit. I'll just let it sit there. And I will lose if he gets there first. There it is, you lose. And yeah, that's as it is in the video. That's pretty much what I did. So yeah. And so, yeah, it took me about 2 hours. So that's like 1 hour less than Mr.Stickman himself. But yeah, it took me about 2 hours. Basically what I had to do was, first I had to get the Stickman sprites. It looks like what they did. It looks kind of like hand drawn. I'm guessing Afyong or Af Clean Uniform, whatever you want to call him. I'm guessing he did that. It looks hand drawn. Like you can see with the way that has the strokes. It gets thinner, and it's thinner, then it gets bigger as it goes on in certain parts, and it's not super even. It isn't complete, perfect circles or perfect lines and all that stuff. So it looks pretty hand drawn. Might as well look a bit more pixelated, but that's whatever. It's pretty much going to be the same poses, and so yeah, it only had like 3 frames of animation, so that was really easy for me to do. And so next, I had to get the music, which is Papyrus's battle theme, however you say that. Basically, it's just a sped up and higher pitched version of that theme. So it's just an Undertale song. So I went and did that in GarageBand, raised up the tempo, and then I put up the pitch a little bit, just a little bit, and it pretty much matches the video. I mean, give or take, might be a little higher, a little bit lower, not exactly the same, but yeah. And so basically how I handled this is I made it into something where it could actually provide a challenge. It looks pretty smooth in the video, the movements, so I made it so that for every time you press spacebar, your character inches up a little bit, and the enemy basically he's moving as smooth as he can. He's automatically moving. And so yeah, I think it was actually pretty cool. It was pretty nice to do something other than the other current project I'm working on. But yeah, with this I basically used transform.translate for the movement. I used just some regular text objects with the canvas for the text that you see on the screen. I used a set active to turn them on. I have them turned off, so they're still in the scene. It's not instantiated or anything. I have it turned off, and then it's just there. And then when one of them collides, then the appropriate text becomes active. And so yeah, once you get into the middle with the dub button, then you win and you see the win screen, and that's, yeah. It was pretty, it didn't really require a lot of work. Of course I made an animation thing. 3 frames of animation for each of them, so that was pretty easy. And also when they touch the button, I did a time.timescale equals 0, which is what stops everything, and I made it so that the variables that determines their movement equals 0, so that everything stops, they're not still moving. Because before, you know, the green guy was still moving even though I won the game, and that would have caused some problems. So I made it so that they completely stop and they can't move, and time is, you know, 0 and all that stuff, so their animations stop too, so that's good. So yeah, I pretty much was able to recreate it, which is pretty cool. It was just a fun little project. I'm not going to upload it because obviously it's not my idea, and it's also, the music is straight up just from Undertale, so I can't really do anything with that. So, I mean, yeah, maybe I can make a game with a similar concept or something like that, where you have to, you know, mash as quickly as you possibly can to get to the middle or something like that. I don't know. You could use a lot of things for game concepts.
If you want to support an actual game that I made, definitely check out my website on Oluvids.com, and you'll see a game called Auto Hero. It's a game that, you know, it's kind of like the dinosaur game, but you can fight the enemies. And so basically you have to rack up as many points as you can and build up your magic meter so that you can use your, you know, huge attack. So again, on Oluvids.com you can find that, and I'll put the link in the description.
But yeah, I just, you know, I saw that and I was like, you know what, why don't I remake Stickman? That would be pretty funny for me, at least. It was pretty fun to do, you know, as I said, only like 2 hours, so, you know, it felt like a game jam. That's what it felt like. I did 2 game jams before for my, you know, in the past. And yeah, that's what it felt like, you know, just making something really quick, a really quick game, really simple art and all that stuff, nothing too crazy. And then make it in a couple hours, and then, boom, you're done. Get concepts and all that. That's what it felt like. So yeah, that was pretty cool to do. And yeah, definitely go check out the video. Yeah, as I said, it's about, you know, these guys who made a gigantic AAA game, you know, got completely outmatched by this random indie dev, you know, this one guy, and he makes you know, Stickman. Took him 3 hours. The budget was $75, so I mean, yeah, the guy made 2 drawings. He got the button picture, and then put some text, and, you know, let's say in this universe he made the song. So yeah, I mean, it still takes some amount of talent to put it together, making the song, obviously, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple in terms of programming and all that stuff. It's like super easy. Low key, you could use this as like a little tutorial thing for up and coming game developers and all that. You know, that could be their first project. You know, remake Stickman. That if that were to be implemented in schools and stuff like that, that would be hilarious. If there's any game dev teachers watching this, yo, definitely put that in your curriculum. Remake Stickman. That's just like, that's the perfect project. You know, it teaches you animation, it teaches you movement, or at least, you know, changing the position. It teaches you text. In my case, I used the button to get into the main game, so it teaches you some, you know, the button, the UI thingy. Teaches you how to make a, you know, a sprite, you know, put it in the game, you know, importing music and all that stuff. It also teaches you, you know, music editing, a little, you know, tiny bit of music editing. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty interesting. I would legitimately use, if I was a game design teacher or game dev teacher, I would legitimately use this video as a basis for a lesson, for the first lesson for my students and all that stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that is Stickman, and man, I'm looking forward to whatever they make it next, like Hood Avatar and all that stuff. But anyway, that's gonna be it for this video, and I'll be seeing you guys next time.